Hello. It was giving me some weird message there. This is Catherine in Boulder, Colorado. It's still giving me some weird message. Sorry, I'm distracted. Hello. This is Catherine in Boulder, Colorado, and this is my weekly wellness Zoom. And I'm expecting some guests tonight, but they haven't showed up yet, so we'll see. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. If they don't, I'm going to do some energy work and just share some love with you guys. So we'll just kind of hang out a little bit, and let me go over here and check on, see if they're needing any direction on how to get in here. Doesn't look like it. All right, cool. So tonight, I'm hoping that this one fella pops on because he introduced me to something called black seed oil, which I was not aware of. I don't know how I wasn't aware of it because I think maybe I heard about it, but like I never checked into it enough to, figure out if I wanted to take it or not. But it's made from cumin or cumin, however you want to pronounce that. And there's some other names for it too, but like they used to use it in Egypt. It's documented, its use is documented way, way back. And the Egyptian pharaohs and stuff just like they wanted to be buried with it in their tombs or whatever because it had such wonderful healing properties. And there's been people that have just had miraculous results by using this oil for many, many different conditions. Let me go check that because that was a message. Just pop over here really quick. All right. He doesn't realize I've gone live, I don't think. So maybe he'll pop in over here. So anyway, it works for like all kinds of conditions. You can go to YouTube and do a search on black seed oil, and you'll pull up a million videos where different people have tried it. And you can take it orally, or you can put it on your skin topically. And so it's good for like cuts and bruises and sprains, and even, well, I guess in one of the spiritual texts out there, it says that it'll cure everything but death. So that's a pretty good recommendation. I went to the store and bought it yesterday, and I've taken about 2 doses of it. I'm not fond of the flavor, but having said that, I've taken some things that taste a lot worse too. So, but it does have, I don't know how to describe the flavor of it. It's bitter, but it's kind of licoricey, which I don't care for licorice either. But there's lots of ways that you can take it. You can just take it by the spoonful. You can, a lot of people on YouTube say that you can mix it with cinnamon and, sorry, excuse me just a moment. He can't make it. But I think I'm going to try mixing it with, I got the oil at, maybe I was talking about where I got the oil. I was able to find the oil at my local Whole Foods, but it was quite expensive. It was about $31 or something like that for 8 ounces. And so I wanted to go ahead and start getting it in my system. So I went ahead and bought it there, but I'll be purchasing it online. I found a good source for it online. And I guess the most important thing is that you get something that's seeds that are organic, and get an oil that is cold pressed and non-filtered, and probably in a glass bottle would be better because it's It's a very powerful oil. So I'm wondering, even in like the BPA free um, bottles and stuff, if it wouldn't. I don't know. I just like glass better for stuff like that. Especially because this is like a super powerful oil. Like it's great for your skin. I put it on my skin before I went to bed last night, and it's nice. It's a really nice, it's not a greasy oil. Oh, I think I was talking about mixing it on YouTube. There's a lot of videos. People take it with honey and cinnamon, and they experience a fat loss, like weight loss, belly fat, that kind of just melts away, evidently. So, but then there's lots of other uses for it. I should have made a list, but I mean, you can YouTube it easily enough, or even Google it. Like there's YouTubes with 101 ways that black seed oil can help your health. And I think I'm afraid to mute my sound because then I won't, well, I'm the only one here. But anyway, I'll just keep talking. Ignore those beeps. um, so if you're looking for weight loss, I guess it works well for that if you mix it with honey and cinnamon. And so we'll see. I have recently done a lot of things in my, with my self-care program, that it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to figure out what is fixing what. Like I'm hanging out with a great group of people on Wednesday evenings at a free health clinic, and we do work with uh, a doctor who's an Asian medicine doctor. And we also do energy work there, which I'll probably do some of that tonight here as well. He does different kinds of work than I do, but it's all basically the same. We are very much on board together that it comes from God through us, and it's just grace that allows the healings and the miracles to happen. I'm hanging out with them and just being in the same, energy field with other healers and other people that hold high vibrations and are doing work for the good of all, energy work for the good of all. Just being in those groups, it's like being in a mastermind. I don't know if you guys have ever plugged into my the Saturday morning mastermind I've been a part of for, I guess, going on 4 years or something. I don't know. But we meet every Saturday morning, and it's a group of entrepreneurs that, we all work from home, and we got together and started reading books, like mindset books, and we have a discussion about, we'll read a chapter a week or whatever. Right now, we've been working on the Tao Te Ching through Dr. Wayne Dyer's interpretation, through his book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And it's been really interesting. I'm going to mute so I can cough and take a sip of water. Just a moment. All right, thanks. So, yeah, we've been going over those verses, one verse a week, and just, I belong to so many amazing groups of people that are all, we're working for the greater good in different ways. Like I work with groups where we're really helping people financially, and I work with groups where we're really helping people with their health, which they have a lot to do with each other, because there's a lot of amazing herbs and remedies out there and treatments that can help people, but not if you don't have the money to pay for it. So financial wellness is just as important. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that. I might go into it a little bit. We'll see. I'm not going to draw it out for the whole hour if nobody shows up. I'll just maybe do some energy work for the last 10 or 15 minutes or something. But we may have somebody pop on and then a conversation will start. You never know around here. Sometimes people pop on, sometimes they don't. It's Saturday night, so some people are out and about having fun. And the reason I try to show up, I know sometimes I don't show up here because I have my own health issues to deal with, but I try to show up so that if somebody pops in and they need help, they can't figure out what's going on with them, then maybe I can help them figure that out. And just have a lot of tools in the toolbox and just want to share those. So I'll be here every Saturday night unless, something happens and I can't make it. But there's so many, there's a lot of ways to cure a lot of things. And I think there's not one remedy that works for all people for all things, because I think ultimately healing is up to God, regardless of what modality you're using. And I don't mean to say that as in God is punishing you by not healing you, but I think that these things that we need to heal from teach us many lessons. I know I have learned so many lessons through the last 12 years, well, through my whole life, but especially the last 12 years, dealing with some of the conditions that I have been dealing with since my horseback fall. And I've tried a lot of different things, and I've gotten results, a little bit of results from a lot of things. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Do everything that you can. I know some people really like to, they're very, I can't think of the words that I want to use tonight. They're very technical, like they want to take one thing at a time and document and see what it helps and what the side effects and, good or bad. And they keep a journal and they're very documented about the whole thing, which is amazing because we need people like that. That's not, I don't do that. Like, I just want the pain to go away. I just want the lumps to go away. So I'm going to use everything in my toolbox at once. And because I know in my heart that it's grace that heals. There's lots of modalities and they're good. And I think people should use and explore different things and don't ever give up. Because I almost gave up, and then I found a doctor who did surgery on me that got me out of just horrible, horrible pain that I was in. I mean, I'm still in a lot of pain, but compared to what it was there is no comparison. So don't give up. I was ready. I was ready to go. But there's so many new remedies and modalities coming out every day that you just have to keep trying. You just have to have faith, and you never know, why you have to keep going through different things. Maybe it's to introduce you to the person that has the sixth thing or something, like you never know. Because relationships are formed. Like I found Dr. Morse, and I just love his videos. If you've never watched his stuff, go to YouTube and just search for Dr. Robert Morse, Morse. And he's a naturopath, and I would love to go to his classes. He keeps it very, very simple. He talks about health in a way that anybody can understand, keeps it very, very simple. He has some very extreme ideas about diet that some people will argue with, but the man has treated hundreds of thousands of people in his career, and I would venture to say he knows what works. I certainly have not treated hundreds of thousands of patients, so I'm not going to tell him that what he suggests doesn't work. Um, I'm not that arrogant. He has a clinic that he runs. He has gotten people with MS, out of wheelchairs, even quadriplegics, getting limbs to move again. He's a master herbalist, and between diet changes and some of his herbal remedies and the right mindset, and a lot of grace, miracles have happened. So check him out. He's like an old horse doc. I love him. Keeps it real simple. It's this or that. Doesn't matter what it is. It's treated the same way, and that's true. You need to look at what you're eating. You need to adjust your pH. You need to be doing things to your water. You need to be doing things with your mindset, getting your mind in the right place around healing and things. And so sometimes you don't heal because you need to keep searching, because on that 5th or 6th or 20th or 30th thing that you try, you have success. Or you meet someone who is amazing, like Dr. Morse, that you have confidence that you can refer anybody to him, regardless of how critical their health condition is. He has dealt with stage 4 cancers of all kinds, and excuse me, and like I said, MS. He says he has a little trouble with Parkinson's. He is able to help them some, but not as much as he would like to. But he deals a lot with the lymph system, which our Western medicine really doesn't address. And it's a huge, huge issue because if you go watch, he has tons of videos, and basically the treatment is the same for every condition. Clean out your lymph system. Our lymph system gets plugged up. All of our cells in our body, everything that we eat, we have waste that we have to excrete. And if you're not, if your lymph system is plugged up, then you're just building up toxins and more toxins, which puts weight on people. And because fat really holds toxins, it really saves your life. Like, a lot of people are angry with themselves or angry with other people for being fat, when in reality, that fat might be saving their life, because it's holding the toxins that otherwise would just be free in your system. And that's why it's really important when you go into a weight loss program that you don't do it too quickly, because as you burn fat, a lot of people are going into these keto diets now and burning fat. And when you start burning fat and releasing toxins into your body, your kidneys and your liver, everything has to help you detox and eliminate those toxins. And so if you do it too fast, it can overload your organs, and you can get pretty sick. So you want to be careful about these things and have faith that your body is the most miraculous thing ever, and it's just amazing the healing that it is able to do, the self-healing that it does every day without us even being aware of it. But as Dr. Morse says, the body is regenerative. Don't think that just because you had an accident and the doctors tell you you'll never do this or that again, don't believe that. The body is regenerative. You need to stop giving it things that stop regeneration and start giving it things that support regeneration. And a perfect example of that, this is going to be a little weird here, but I'm sitting on a cushion right now. Now, for those of you that know me, I have pudendal nerve damage, and I was told by my surgeon, basically never sit again, because anytime I'm sitting, it's putting pressure on the pudendal nerves. These are nerves that run underneath the seat bones. So whenever I'm sitting, have pressure on the seat, my seat bones, it's putting pressure on those nerves, and I've had surgery on them, and that's the excruciating pain that I was in. And he's like, don't ever do anything to compromise these nerves again. So just don't sit. Well, I've been almost 12 years. Well, the first 5 years I was in a wheelchair, so I was sitting. But since I came out of the wheelchair, I haven't been able to sit except to drive maybe 4 miles to the grocery store or something, but that would really increase my pain. I was constantly testing it because I don't like to believe anything a doctor tells me, especially when they use the word never, because it's not in my vocabulary. So I kept seeking out things, and I found this cushion made by this company called Purple, and they have a website, but you can go to YouTube and just put in capital letters Purple in the search. And I was actually looking for a new bed, because the one I have is, and I'm in bed almost all the time, and it's worn out. And so I needed a new bed. I have latex allergy, so there's a lot of these really comfortable foam beds or whatever that I can't use, because it would, a latex allergy, if you're not aware of it, that's a cumulative allergy. So the more you expose yourself to latex, the worse the allergy can get, and it can literally build up to like an anaphylaxis type situation where, it affects your airway, your breathing. So I don't play with latex, but this cushion, now I got this one. They have several different, they have solid where it's not cut out in the middle like that. And they have several different cushions at different prices. I chose this one because with my nerve damage, I have to use ice in my crotch when I drive, when I sit, to help keep down the pain. And so this has like that perfect opening where I can put an ice pack there when I'm sitting. But this is like really, it's super soft, you guys. It's like super soft. But if you go watch their videos, I'm kind of on my hip right now. But if you go watch their videos, like you can put raw eggs on this cushion and sit on it, and it won't burst the egg. So when I saw that, I thought, well, it can't be putting that much pressure on the nerves then. So I decided I would try it, and it's working. I'm able to sit again, which is amazing, like sit straight upright. I'm not right now. I'm kind of leaning because I am having to work myself up to sitting upright. My muscles are weak, from not sitting up, and I walk well, but I don't walk very, very far. So just working on strengthening my muscles, and I do exercises in bed. Matter of fact, I need to do one of these wellness Zooms on doing exercises from bed when you can't get out and about, or you're unable to walk for exercise, or there's a lot of tools in my toolbox that I can share even when other people don't show up, so it's all good. Like I said, I'm not going to keep us, it's almost 8:30, so maybe I'll go ahead and jump into some energy healing now and then go ahead and cut it off. But if you're watching this and you're watching the replay of it, come join me on Saturday nights. Maybe you have some health issues going on for yourself or a loved one. And I was a nurse for 20 years, so I do have medical knowledge. And then I also have studied Eastern medicine, some herbs and homeopathics, and lots of different healing modalities. So just come on and let's see if we can help you, because people might think, oh, well, what does she know about healing? She's been in bed for almost 12 years. But if you could see where I've come from, oh my goodness, like I'm twice out of a wheelchair, and I used to have to wear diapers, and I've come a long way. I've come a long, long way. And and plan to continue. You know, I'm just getting stronger by the day, and this black seed oil I think is going to do amazing things. So go ahead and go over to YouTube and check that out, black seed oil, and do a little research on that and see if it's something that you want to try, because it can help lots of different things. Like when the video said 101 things it can help lots of things. And it's the good source that I found online is, gosh, I'm going to get twice as much oil for $10 less than what I paid at Whole Foods. So it's a reasonable source. It's very clean, and just looking forward to sorry, that is so distracting. I guess I'm going to try turning that off and see if that, okay. So, wow. Try the black seed oil. Look it up and see if it can help you. Now, I guess the nursing side of me comes out and says, you know, always be careful with something, even an herb or natural remedy, when you're using it for the first time. You know, you could have an allergy, so you might want to do, before you slather it all over your face like I did. I slathered it and then went, oh no, what if I'm allergic? I didn't know if I was going to wake up this morning with like blisters on my face or something, you know, but you might want to do a little spot test on your wrist or something like that, just in case. It would be much smarter than the way I did it. One of the things that they talk about is, well, I mentioned earlier that they use it in Egypt, and I have a lot of respect for those ancient remedies like frankincense. Frankincense is one of my favorite oils. It's amazing. I've used it for so many things to help people with. It carries a really high vibration, and when you get down to it, we're energetic beings. And so these vibrational medicines like homeopathics and essential oils, it's giving you the vibration of that plant. And these are God-given healing tools. I mean, God gave us everything that we need to heal ourselves. So if you haven't done any reading, you know, if you've only done, quote, Western medicine, allopathic medicine, whatever you want to call it, you know, if you're just treating symptoms with drugs instead of trying to actually heal your body, come back, you know, join me on Saturday and let me share some of the things that I've witnessed in my life, and give you that spark of hope that you need, that healing can occur. So I'm going to stop talking now and do some energy work. For if you've been here before, you know that I've been blessed, very, very blessed in my life, from the time I was a young child, to be sort of a channel for energy. It is God coming through me. It is not, doesn't have anything to do with me, other than I seem to be able to be a conduit for the energy for people. I believe that everybody can connect to the God source themselves, but for whatever reason, some people don't believe they can. Perhaps they've been indoctrinated through religions or churches that tell them that they have to go through somebody else. And so I'm here for that. And the type of energy work that I do, basically, I just ask my guides to bring forth whatever is needed for whoever is present or will be present in the future. And so even if you're watching a recording of this later on, this energy work is still going to work for you too, because there really is no time. That's just a third dimensional construct that we have here right now. But energy, there's no time, there's no space. So this will work. You know, like I said, it's up to God what healing occurs. at what time. It all happens in God's time, not necessarily ours. So just because you're not miraculously healed overnight, it doesn't mean that it hasn't shifted something in you that is going to lead to that healing. So um, however you want to envision this, if you do have certain beliefs, um, but just open yourself to the possibility that your body can be perfect once again, regardless of what has happened to it in the past. Okay, and that is also for emotional traumas, and our bodies hold, our cells hold traumas, and so sometimes we need energy work to kind of flush those things a little bit, help you flush those things. Now, I don't typically talk while I do this, unless my guides tell me to say something, I will. So I'll just be quiet, and the only thing I would ask is that you please do not drive while you're listening to this recording, because this type of energy work has been known to just put people to sleep within seconds, and it would be horrible for you to be listening, going down the road and just fall asleep. We don't want that. So just save it for a time when you can just cuddle up in bed, and that way if you drift off to sleep, it's no big deal. Or, if you want to even play it while you're sleeping, your subconscious is going to pick up on it anyway. So shall we get started? I'm going to adjust my seat so that I can sit up better. And, oh, goodness. And we will get started. Now, some healing work carries a hot energy. You'll feel heat, like with Qigong, when you're doing Qigong energy work and some other types of energy work, you'll feel a lot of heat. Oftentimes with this particular kind of energy work that I do, well, I do some that is heat, but what I'm going to do tonight, which is just sacred activation, sacred energies, I'll just run it for everybody. Not going to bring in anything specific, again, unless my guides tell me to. They're very persistent, so I do not have the option of ignoring them. If they tell me to say something, even if it makes no sense to me, I will say it. I have learned the hard way of not listening to them and paid for it every time, so I'm a good girl and I listen now. This may be a very cold energy, so have a blanket next to you. You might want a drink of water. We're going to start with just a few deep breaths, in and out. At least inhale to the count of 4, do 8 if you can, and then hold it for that amount, and then exhale for that amount for 3 times. All right. And I'll just turn my mic off unless I'm going to say something, so that if a train goes by or something, it won't disturb you. All right, here we go. Okay, so I just realized I think that whole energy session was not recorded. Wow. Uh, yeah, I should have paid more attention to the pop-up on my screen. That was an incredibly hot session, which I said before I started. Sometimes it runs hot, sometimes it runs cold. Okay, so um, the only thing that, the only activation that came through was anger and resentment towards God, which is a huge, that was a huge collective consciousness movement there. I guess with everything going on with politics and just the world in general, with the wars and the poverty and just ignorance and lack of understanding around the world and conflict amongst religions and things, there are evidently a lot of people who have anger and resentment towards God because that was a huge, it's still running actually. I had to get out of the energy. It was so very, very strong. When it comes through that strong, I have to pull myself up out of it and just watch it from above because it can actually make you very dizzy, very, nauseous, sick at your stomach. Um, so basically, I was up above, looking down, and it just looked like this huge vortex. It looked more like a tornado. It was full of debris. Like sometimes the vortex energy is extremely clear. Like it's a vortex. It's like spinning like a tornado, but it's very clear. This tornado of energy, for lack of a better term, just to give you a visual, had a lot of debris. If you've ever actually seen a tornado in person or on a video in a movie, um, you can see that it's picking up things from the ground and just throwing it and spinning it around. And there's a lot of debris, dust, dirt, glass, trees, how pieces of houses in the tornado. And this was a very thick, uh, full of debris sort of vortex of this collective consciousness of this anger and resentment towards God. And so we shifted a lot of energy there, which was good. Um, it's still running. That's why I keep fanning myself because I can tell this might run, this is going to continue to run for a while, maybe even through the night. As I sleep, that's not uncommon. I do work for God in my sleep as well as in my waking hours. And although I'm not a monk who sits on top of a mountain, I have lived that lifestyle before, but I was actually instructed by my guides, by God, to come down and interact with people. And, of course, I learned how to do Zooms, and now I can do energy work online and reach a lot more people um, to try to help get you through some of these changes. We're going through a lot of energetic changes right now on the planet. Our bodies sometimes have a hard time keeping up with that. So I encourage you to um, do everything that you can to raise your vibration, to keep your thoughts positive. Don't get pulled into the media, the hype, yes, there are a lot of terrible things going on in the world, and I'm not telling anyone to turn a blind eye. I do not. The type of work that I do during the day, along with energy work, is helping people around the world with their finances and helping them, giving them hope again. People that have been devastated financially, like myself, I became homeless within 3 years of my accident. So people think that they're set up financially, but they're really not. I think I'll just do a Zoom on financial wellness. But for today, let's just sit in this energy, and I'll let this keep running. There's no reason to have anger or resentment towards God. God is not punishing us with what's going on. We are so much more powerful than we understand. Like our thoughts, the things that we tell ourselves and other people is so much. We are co-creators. It is through God and through grace that we are able to do that. But people need to learn to take responsibility for their energy. They just do. You just need to learn to take responsibility for your energy and the effect that it has. And it can have a massive effect. Like, I'm sure you've heard about the butterfly wings. It just takes a couple of flaps, and it changes things around the world. And your energy can do the same thing. So if you need some help raising it, I have lots of tools in the toolbox. It is my honor to share this healing energy with you that comes through grace only. Be open to it. Allow it to come in, and pay it forward. Learn how to work with energy and learn how to help people with it. It's a gift. It's an honor. It's a blessing to be able to help people. And that's what we're here to do. That's why we're here. So thank you so much, everybody that will watch this in the future. And just, even though I don't think the energy healing session itself was caught on the recording, believe it or not, it will still work because the energy was flowing during that time where I'm going to assume that I was just stuck on the screen or something. So during that whole time that I'm just stuck on the screen, probably my face is in some weird contorted thing. Who knows? But just allow it. Allow grace to come in. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you through the week or next Saturday. And just believe in miracles because they really do happen. Peace.